Stephen. I'm the founder and CEO of Journey. I started the company 5 years ago with the mission of helping all people live happier, healthier, less stressed lives. I was very fortunate. I found meditation through Buddhism while living in Australia. It really transformed my life, and I thought that there was a huge opportunity to help people. And so we are building the world's largest, most supportive, inclusive community for mental well-being, both online and off. And the way you could think about Journey is the same way you'd have your Equinox or ClassPass membership for your physical fitness, you would have your Journey membership for your mental and emotional fitness. And so when we started by going to companies. Prior to starting Journey, I built a B2B business that I scaled from scratch to 80 employees and about 20 million in revenue and a 40% market share. So small business, but big within the space. And this was a very logical entry point for us and an efficient use of capital, starting with organizations. So over the years, we've worked with everyone from Nike, Disney, Facebook, Google, McKinsey, to charter schools, hospitals, and nonprofits. And this was always teaching groups, and this was always teaching live. So back in the pre-COVID world, we would go on site. Now, of course, everything's done through Zoom, but it was always working with the organizations and the individuals there. We then said, after expanding from New York to LA, San Francisco, London, Toronto, a bunch of other cities, we thought there was a huge opportunity on the consumer side. And when we looked at everything that was out there, many great products, but a couple of problems. The first is they're all single player, meaning you're doing them by yourself. And the second is you're listening to a recording from the past. And some of you may know for thousands of years, meditation and well-being more broadly was practiced in communities. We had support, we had accountability, we lived in villages, in tribes, we had other people cheering us on. And for the last 5 years, it's something that we've done by ourselves on our phone. So we believed that there was an opportunity to build something that was much different from everything that existed. And we thought that that would be not only beneficial to the actual users themselves in terms of a much more engaging experience, but from a defensibility standpoint, we believe that community is really key there. So we are building, as I said, the first and largest community for mental wellness. So live classes, live videos, the ability to interact, the ability to ask a question, support and accountability from the community, and a wide variety of practices. So we have meditation, which is, as I mentioned, what transformed my life, but we also have a whole bunch of other things, from breath work to guided journaling to hypnotherapy. So going back to the gym analogy, the same way you might go to the gym and you might do yoga and someone else might lift weights and someone else might run, same thing. So a whole host of modalities in one place, all with the mission of helping you live your best life. And so this is back in 2018. We said we were going to raise $1 million. We ended up raising 2.4. So that round was led by Canaan Partners, along with a bunch of other great VCs, which I'll tell you a little bit about. We built out the team. So we hired this woman, Marion. She was a co-founder at Peloton. She ran content there for 2.5 years. We just hired a chief product officer who ran product at Rent the Runway, Care.com, Digital Chocolate, and Rulala Guild. Some of our advisors have been, former COO of Headspace and other people who have really seen businesses like this scale. And we brought this product to market, Journey Live, the first live group meditation app. And I would love for you to check it out. I'm sure there's a way for me to send you a free membership. So Katya, and I'll sync up with you guys after, so you can check that out. And I'm proud to say that in the year that the product has been in market, we've already achieved best-in-class engagement. So the average user is using it 5 times a week, the average paid user, 5 times a week, and spending over 21 minutes a day in the product. And that's 5 times better than the market leader and twice as good as Peloton. So highly, highly engaged. And that's not surprising, because when you think about it, we've all seen that, whether in our own experience or in studies, whether it's weight loss, exercise, smoking cessation, the support of a group makes a huge difference. And we just closed a $2.5 million seed plus. So that was led by Courtside. We had super pro rata from Canaan, AET, and New York Venture Partners. We had pro rata from BetaWorks, BDMI, and Brooklyn Bridge Ventures. And then we had new checks from Sequoia Scouts, our good friends here at Startup Health, a few other folks who are really excited about our Series A, which we're going to be raising in 12 months. And in terms of timing, the time is now. So physical fitness is obviously a massive category that's been around for a while. And mental fitness, mental well-being is a category that's growing at a very, very fast pace. And there will be multiple billion-dollar companies created in the space over the next few years. I'm sure you've seen the success of Calm. There will be a whole host of others that are built, and we're excited to be not only a very valuable company, but also a very meaningful company. And so I think that's about time for me. So I'll pause there and see what questions you all have.
Awesome. Thank you, Stephen. We have 127 participants. We should have started with a journey meditation session on this call next time. That's a missed opportunity.
Next time.
Yes. So love what you're doing. Can you talk a little bit about the competitive landscape? You mentioned Calm and whatnot. Is anyone else doing what you're doing in terms of the live group meditation session?
Yeah, so in terms of the space overall, I would say the space is crowded but immature. Crowded in the sense that, as I'm sure most of you know, there's a whole bunch of other companies in the space who are doing meditation and things like that, but immature in the sense that the category itself is only 5 to 10 years old. And so there will be a lot of value created over the next few years. There are companies now that are starting to do meditation, none of the large companies, but there's smaller ones. They're doing live this, live that, but not at the scale that we're doing it, nor with any of the features built out. So what we've done is we've built an experience that feels really engaging. So it has I've never used this comparison before, but it's probably the difference between using something like Zoom, which has a whole bunch of features and breakout rooms and this and that, versus some new technology that just allows you to maybe chat with a friend, but doesn't have any of the bells and whistles. So, take classes, ask questions, interact, get support, see your streaks, communicate offline, a whole host of other things that really make it a powerful experience.
Awesome. And a few questions are coming into the chat. I think I can group a couple of them together. So one is about how you curate the groups. So can you curate groups around, a persona or a group of people going through particular things? And then someone also asked, does your platform have an offering for kids, which is a related question?
Yep, great question. So the first one is all of the classes have themes. So we have themes like mindful living, stress, relationships, self-love. We have full-length classes. We have 3-minute classes, like 3 minutes to deep relaxation, 3 minutes to calm, etc. In terms of groups, we also have communities. So we have a mom community, we have a men's community, an LGBTQ community, because we believe that that's also a nice way for people to interact and find like-minded folks. In terms of kids, actually, we did launch a family series called Music and Meditation that we launched during COVID. One of our meditation teachers has a brand new baby, not that brand new anymore, I guess. This thing's been going on for a while. And he'll come out with his guitar and his wife and sing and also lead a meditation that's for families. So the answer is yes.
That's awesome. I'm going to have to check that out with my kids. So we have a bunch of good questions here. So first of all, folks, we're going to post Stephen's email address here, and a quick poll will come up so that you can find a way to quickly connect from what I don't get to. How do you see Instagram and Facebook as competitors? And can you just quickly touch on the business model? Someone sent a private message about that.
Yeah, so Instagram and Facebook are great, but I don't think anyone considers them to be safe spaces, right? Like, I'm not going on there to share my intimate feelings, like my anger about what's happening in the world, or my fear around COVID, or my anxiety around the upcoming election, or, things like that. So I don't really, I think they're great and they're very helpful tools for us, but I don't think of them serving the same purpose that we do. In terms of the business model, we have two different parts of the business. So we have the B2B business, where we work with companies like Amex, Skadden, Sony, and we go in and help their employees to reduce stress and make better decisions. And those are subscriptions. And then on the consumer side of the business, you can go into the App Store and download it. It's $69.99 for an annual subscription, so very fairly priced. That was important to us. Again, happy to share it for free with all of you guys. But yeah, those are the two parts of the business.